My brothers and sisters of the Transformers universe, we are so close to the first issue of SkyBound's Transformers. For those of you who are new here, my name is James. Now, let's get into everything that SkyBound has told us about this new Transformers story, and later in this video, we will check out the 4-page preview of the first issue they recently released. So first, let's talk about the lineup of Autobots and Decepticons showing up. Regarding the Autobots, we have Optimus Prime, RC, Ratchet, Cliffjumper, and Wheeljack. I do wonder where some of the other Autobots are, like Prowl, Hound, Mirage, Jazz, and Bumblebee. Either way, I like this current lineup. Now, when it comes to the Decepticon lineup, we have Starscream, Rumble, Skywarp, Laserbeak, and my boy, Soundwave. I do think Starscream will take the leadership role of this group. I won't be surprised if he says something like, "I will lead you all to victory unlike Megatron," or something like that. Some minor, noticeable missing members, like missing from the trio of Seekers, is Thundercracker. Shockwave isn't here, but he will most likely be on Cybertron. One of Soundwave's original mini-cassettes missing here is Ravage. I find that very interesting. However, let's talk about the mighty elephant in the room here. The greatest and biggest missing Decepticon here, Megatron. Where is Megatron? I have a few theories as to why he isn't on the initial roster. Theory number 1, Megatron didn't crash land with the rest of the Transformers and maybe ended up somewhere else. I think just like in the first live action film, he ends up being discovered elsewhere and the government takes possession of him. That would explain why the government creates the G.I. Joe task force in order to combat these advanced alien mechanical beings. Theory number 2, Megatron is on Cybertron completing his takeover, so maybe he sent this current Decepticon lineup after the Autobots, but things went wrong and they ended up crash landing on Earth. He gets word of this and plans to bring the rest of the Decepticons to Earth, and I think SkyBound will build up his arrival on Earth as a big event. My last theory is kind of a different version of my first theory, and is kind of a repeat of what happened in Dreamwave's G.I. Joe versus the Transformers series. The first volume we covered on the channel, check out the link in the pinned comment down below after this video if you want to check it out. In that story, Cobra discovered the Transformers, so I think Cobra Commander will be the one to discover Megatron, and he will use the advanced tech he obtains from analyzing Megatron to help build up Cobra. Let me know which theory you all think could be a possibility, or maybe you have a totally different theory. Go ahead and comment it down below. Now, let's get into the 4-page preview of Transformers Issue 1. The preview begins with this guy named Spike and this girl going on this mountain trail. Now, this mountain could be Mount St. Hilary. For those of you who don't know, Mount St. Hilary is where the Autobots crash land the Ark in the original series. It's located in Portland, Oregon. Now, we don't get confirmation of this in the preview, but come on. We know this must be Spike Witwicky, who he and his father Sparkplug befriend and become the main human allies of the Transformers in the OG series. Now, this girl with him, we don't get her name at all, but she could be Carly, another character from the original show. She was an MIT graduate, she was very intelligent, and she and Spike eventually got married. Through their conversation, we learn a few details about both characters. This girl with Spike is an airbrush artist, and that's her van we see here that she airbrushed herself. Her van is awesome, and it really reminds me of the van in the movie Fanboys. If you haven't seen it, it's one of the most underrated comedies of all time. What we also learn about her is she's trying to get into an art school, but she can't afford it. She and her dad are working as much as they can in order to afford it. When it comes to Spike, he wants to go to UC Berkeley and wants to become an astronaut. However, it seems like he's afraid of telling some male figure in his life that he wants to go to school out of state. It could be his father. The comic implies something tragic happened when the girl says to Spike, "I'm sorry about your dad," about Jimmy. I couldn't figure out if she was talking about the same person, like Spike's dad is named Jimmy and something happened to him, or maybe she was talking about two different people, like maybe Spike had a brother named Jimmy who recently passed, and Spike is afraid of leaving his dad now. I was trying my best to dissect it. I could be thinking too much about it, but let me know what you all think. Now, as they are setting up the telescope, suddenly the ground beneath them collapses. They fall far into this cavern, and once they gather themselves after the fall, they realize they are in no cavern. They are in a ship. This ship is the Autobots' Ark. What Spike and this girl discover is all the unconscious bodies of the Transformers. Now, amongst the bodies are two Autobots who aren't in the lineup we saw earlier, Prowl and Bumblebee. So I wonder why they aren't in the initial lineup. Maybe we'll find out that their bodies are damaged beyond repair. Who knows? But I find it very interesting. The last thing I want to point out here is there is an image all the way in the back of a jet approaching, which could be Jetfire. I don't know, we'll have to wait and see come October 4th. Let me know what you all think about this. Like and subscribe, and please consider becoming a channel member. There are a lot of perks and it would help out this channel greatly. After this video, check out the continuing expansion of the Energon universe in the latest Void Rivals video right here. Other than that, have an awesome day, and always remember every day to transform and go beyond.